This is Jackknife TV. Thanks for stopping by. This is going to be something new for me. I'm going to try to do a segment called Trucking News and Insight, probably every Friday, time willing, I guess, since, I am on the road here doing trucking things. And also, I'd like to say is I hope nobody gets too butthurt. There's a lot of other people that do kind of the same kind of segments that are 10 times bigger than me, but just sometimes they don't mention things that I think should be out there as news. Then again, also, maybe they're filming it right now as I'm making this. So I don't know. Let's talk about something that happened Wednesday morning around 2 a.m. So I'd imagine some of you already heard that there was a serious accident involving a Greyhound bus going westbound on I-70 in Highlands, Illinois. And apparently what is perceived to have happened is the Greyhound driver just fell asleep behind the wheel and lost control of the bus, which unfortunately proceeded to either veer into the rest area or he was already coming down the ramp of the rest area, and unfortunately struck 3 semi-trucks parked on the side. Now, as we all know, technically we're not supposed to park on the side of the road, and this is where this is going to turn into a legal problem. But I digress. 3 people unfortunately lost their lives. Many more were wounded, some seriously. There were, I think, at least 4 that were medevaced by the helicopter to a hospital, the nearby hospitals. And like I said, many more injured. Some estimates were 10 to 14. Now, this is probably going to have serious consequences, I would imagine, on our parking situation. This has already been in the news now for 2 days. It is Friday. And like I said, this happened sometime around 2 a.m. Wednesday. But like I've said in previous videos, we're always the one to blame. And this is where the insight, I guess, comes in, and the news, at least concerning the Greyhound bus, kind of ends. So, considering this is public news and it's been on most of the major news channels, MSNBC, CNN, Fox, etc., I have a feeling this is going to be detrimental to our ability to park, especially if these lawsuits go through, because I'm sorry to say, the way the laws are written and enforcement is written, it's pretty much black and white. This is why most mega carriers instruct their drivers, never to park on the shoulder of the road. And if you do, at least put your hood up and your triangles out like you're broken down, or, only if you are broken down. Always try to find a area well off the road in a trucking parking spot. And this is what mega carriers beat into their drivers' heads day in and day out. And this is the reason why. Most likely this is going to turn into a nuclear verdict. This is just my opinion. Like I said, this is more the inside part of the article, and this is also my first time doing it. So if you hate how this is coming out, go ahead and leave your opinions and your feelings down in the comments. I'm trying. This is my first time. And it's definitely going to affect the fleets that own these trucks and or owner-operators and the drivers. Because the law, like I said, is pretty much black and white. There's no gray area. The only good thing I have to say is that this was Illinois, and there are most of the laws and litigation that goes on inside Illinois, and politics, I guess you could also say, is, in favor of truckers. Now, if this would have happened anywhere else, like let's say California or New Jersey, or whatnot, these owners of the trucking companies, but probably just the drivers, could be held criminally liable. Maybe third-degree manslaughter, so on and so forth. Like I said, it probably depends on the state. And getting to the lawsuit aspect, the lawyers are pretty much going to just bring up that the trucks were illegally parked, and the reason that they do not want these trucks parking there is so that crash mitigation devices such as guardrails or jersey barriers can do their job. That's what they're certified to do, and that's what they're supposed to do, is save people's lives from crashing. Now, in my opinion, this is 100% Greyhound's fault and the driver for Greyhound. At least that's, in my opinion, the black and white version of it. But the law is always different, and lawsuits and settlements prevail. So, that being said, what do you think? What's your opinions on the whole situation? Do you think that, it's going to turn into a nuclear verdict case? Do you think that maybe most of the blame is going to be put on Greyhound? In fact, who knows? Maybe some of the blame will even be put on the state for not enforcing the no truck parking rules. Like I said, this may come back to bite us all in the butt. So that's that. Like I said, comment below what you think. Some of this is my opinion and insight, but like I said, 3 people did lose their lives, and it's just a tragic case. Now, on a little bit of a lighter note, but unfortunately, there's not very much good news in trucking right now. UPS is planning on striking. They've been planning on striking now for a while. If this does happen and goes through, most likely spot market rates are going to increase just due to the fact of supply and demand. There's so many companies that use UPS parcel, it's ridiculous. The automotive industry, for instance, uses UPS. I think some estimates are about 40 to 50% of all parts, either in the automotive industry or probably the heavy truck industry, are moved by UPS. Amazon does a lot of UPS also. So this is going to affect a lot of businesses also on top of, the freight. We may see an uptick, and then again, we may see a downtick, just due to the fact that some businesses might not be able to operate without getting their supplies or parcels that UPS brings them. Some of the estimates were that if UPS were to strike for a week, it would cost the economy $7 billion. $7 billion. And also, this includes people's wages, their salaries, because they just won't be able to work because there will be nothing to do, because UPS, unfortunately, brings their job, I guess you could say, brings the things that they work on or build, it brings it to them. Now, this also might be a huge uptick in, I'm sure Saya is going to gain a huge market share from this, possibly. I know these are LTL companies, but I'm sure they might even get into the parcel game. Someone that really will be FedEx Parcel. DHL, I'm sure, will probably see an uptick in revenue. And so that's really that. Like I said, it's all hearsay mostly right now, but that's what the news is reporting, that UPS is going to strike. And nobody really knows. The last talk they just had, or a negotiation, pretty much the Teamsters Union walked out on UPS management, and it's gone downhill from there. So that's just, a little bit about UPS. Now, on top of that, there's also another, they're not parcel, but another LTL carrier their employees also are planning on going on strike and or shutting the company down, and that is YRC Freight, or Yellow. So that whole situation has turned into a cluster, and it doesn't look like it's going to fix itself anytime soon. Most likely, word down the grapevine, I guess I could say the word down the grapevine is a large mega carrier is possibly seeking to purchase YRC. And like I said, this is all hearsay, so I'm not going to really put out the name of the carrier, but I'm sure we all know who this mega carrier is. They've been buying up people left and right. If this happens, I would imagine YRC will no longer have a Teamsters union, and I'm sure a lot of their employees will be out of a job. So that's my hodgepodge trucking news and insight. Like I said, this is the first time. Really, the main article that I wanted to put out was about the Greyhound bus incident. So, if you feel that this was adequate, or maybe I could improve, just leave it down in a comment below, and I'll try to get back to you, and maybe I'll try to keep this up and improve on it slowly but surely. So, thanks for stopping by, Jackknife TV, once again. And if you would, please smash the like button and subscribe. It helps build the channel and allows me to bring some content to you.